I will be taking a look at my updated 2024 presidential election prediction between the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. In this video, I will not be doing specific candidates, and I'm just going to be taking a look at the general picture. So, as on your screen right now are the safe and some of the likely states filled in for both parties. But obviously, those are not the only safe and likely states for both parties. I'm going to start off with the Republican likely states because Republicans are currently down electoral votes. So, first off, in the state of Texas, obviously a likely state for the GOP. Although there are some areas that are trending blue, such as Fort Worth, Republicans will still be easily able to hang on to the state. Similarly, in the state of Florida, Republicans have had a very strong grip there in the past about 10 years. It's a state that's trending for the Republican Party. I'll just give the state to the GOP. Now for the state of North Carolina. North Carolina, it's not really trending either direction. Looks like Democrats are doing more and more are being more and more competitive in the state in recent years, but I'm gonna put this in the likely Republican category because 2024 I don't think is gonna be a year that Democrats actually win the state. Now, for the state of Iowa and Ohio. The states of Iowa, Ohio, both should go for a GOP candidate for about 10 to 11 points. Trump should be stronger than DeSantis in both of those states, but I don't think that's going to make that much of a difference. Now, for the likely Democratic states, we also have quite a few. So, first off, in the state of Colorado, a trending blue state could go for Democrats by around 13 or 14 points, possibly even a safe margin. Again, much of the Denver areas are very, very Democratic leaning at this moment in time. Now for the state of New Mexico here, the Santa Fe area, the Albuquerque area, very favorable for Democrats. Democrats should be able to win the state by a likely margin. Now the state of Virginia. Virginia is a trending blue state, and it is now considered a blue state. Republicans are not going to contest the state as they would 10 years ago. So that would do it for I believe, all the likely states. Now we can move from the state of Nevada all the way up to the New England states, such as Maine and New Hampshire. Now, first of all, in the state of Nevada here, this will be a state that I give to Republicans by a tilt margin. This is very close. I'm not sure who's going to win the state. Clark County is trending for the Republicans. Washoe County is pretty stagnant, but it is trending to Democrats slightly. The state will be very close in 2024 for sure. Now for Arizona. Arizona, I think Democrats have the narrow edge there. DeSantis will definitely do better than Trump would in the state. Harris, I don't think would be able to win the state. It really depends. But I think as of right now, Democrats will probably nominate Joe Biden, which gives the Democrats a good chance at winning the state of Arizona and holding on to this crucial state. Now the state of Georgia. Georgia is very, very close. Again, much of the rural areas is very favorable for Republicans. Democrats are doing very well in the suburban areas, and the urban areas has been consistently good for the Democratic Party. So I'm not really sure who's actually going to win the state. I'm going to give it to Democrats by a tilt margin because Democrats, this is definitely a state that's trending for the Democratic Party, but really this is a very, very close state. Now for Minnesota here, I think the state will be more obviously in the Democratic column. I'm going to give it to Democrats by a lean margin. It could realistically be tilt, but I'm going to just give that characterization because Democrats are doing very, very well in much of the suburban areas. Now for the state of Wisconsin, Republicans are doing very well in the state. They're doing very well in much of the rural areas. This is a heavily Republican trending state. Republicans could realistically win the state by 5 or 6 points, but I think a lead margin is more of a fair characterization. You can see the electoral count right now. It's 250 to 246. This is a very close election for sure. 2024 will be very, very competitive of election cycle. Nebraska's 2nd district is also very interesting. Trump did win the district by 7, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Democrats are going to win this district every single election cycle, as this district has been drawn to be 3 points more Republican favoring, at least according to the FiveThirtyEight aggregate. So I'm going to give it to the Democrats by a tilt margin. This is very close, but I'm just going to give it to the Democrats because Democrats did win this district by quite a substantial margin in 2020. Now the state of Michigan. Michigan is also a very close state. I think Democrats have the narrow edge here. Really, I think Democrats are favored in the state because many of the suburban areas are trending blue, although much of the rural areas are much more favorable for Democrats than they were maybe 20 or 30 years ago. I think Democrats have a realistic shot of holding on to the state for about another 10 years before it finally goes pretty solidly in the Republican column. That means at large vote, we all know that that vote is probably going to go for Democrats between a lean and likely margin. Now for the state of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is very, very close. But at the end of the day, I think Democrats will end up maybe slightly winning the state. I'm not super sure. It really depends on the candidate. Now for the Democrats, I think, again, New Hampshire should be able to get for Democrats pretty easily. This is a state that typically votes for the Democratic Party, except on the governor's level. Main second, I'll give that to the Republicans. I don't think that's much of a surprise. And Pennsylvania, I'm going to leave that as a toss-up because I really don't know. It really depends on the candidate. It is truly 50-50. So as of right now, both parties could win the presidential election. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.